This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
This is the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. We are back talking all things sports. As always, I am Ben.
And I'm Pauline.
Back here on a Monday. Good weekend, Pauline?
Yeah, fast weekend. But
went by pretty quick?
Yeah, it went by quick, but it was fun. I had Friday off, which was nice, and so I just did literally nothing all Friday.
You know, I think those are the best days off.
Yep.
I will be off tomorrow and Thursday. Do have school in the morning, afternoon, but then after that,
that's nice.
Very excited to be off and have nothing planned.
Right.
Thursday is, of course, the NFL draft. I'm looking forward to that, the first round. And we'll talk a little bit about that later in the show. Some pre-draft rumors, you know. It starts Thursday. It's Monday. So we have like all the hype.
I was going to say this is a fun week. Yeah.
Definitely a fun week. So a nice weekend for me as well. A lot of basketball games we're going to get to. A lot of compelling storylines. We got kind of a little bit of banter between a couple of teams in a different series. So it's good. We have the Celtics and the Bulls. That is evened up after the Celtics did win yesterday. We'll break that game down. Got a little tension between Isaiah Thomas and Fred Hoiberg there, even Marcus Smart and Jimmy Butler. And then, of course, we have the Rockets and the Thunder. Pauline,
I know.
Sorry for your Thunder. But, I mean,
a
lot of talk about Russell Westbrook and what happens when he's not on the floor. I mean, he had quite the thing to say to a certain reporter last night who was actually talking to Steven Adams, not even Russ. But we'll get to all that. But we're going to cover these games from yesterday in order of which they happened. The first game of the day was the Cavaliers and the Pacers. The Cavs looking to finish off Indiana after that miraculous 25-point halftime deficit they overcame in Game 3. I said Game 4 was going to absolutely beat Cleveland because Indiana, I mean, just the letdown, the emotional letdown of how Game 3 ended would be too much for them to overcome in Game 4.
Right.
And for once in my entire life, I was right.
Yes.
The Cavs come out on top in Game 4. They finish off the Pacers 106-102. 33 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists for the King, LeBron James. The Cavs really struggled, though. I mean, they only shot 41% in this game, shot 9 of 31 from 3, but equally did the Pacers really, really struggle. Paul George only 15 points on 5 of 21 shooting in Game 4. Lance Stevenson off the bench, a really nice game, 22 points. He's seemed to somewhat revitalize his playing career in Indiana, which he actually got big on when he was playing for the Pacers. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's like the Indiana air or
what it is, but he thrives there. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
So now you have the Cavs moving on to take on the winner of the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors playoff series, which is actually tied up at 2 right now, going to Game 5 in Toronto. So the Cavs get a few days of rest now. Potentially that could go. I mean, 7 games even. We've seen both teams win on the other team's home courts. So you get Cleveland some more rest. And
so they might have a good little break to, you know, what they love to do is rest.
They get their rest.
So they'll be able to get their rest.
There's honestly some fascinating things that go along with this. So LeBron James has now won 21 straight first-round games in the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
That's literally 5 sweeps and 1 game.
Yeah.
21 straight first-round wins for LeBron James. He gets some days off, potentially could really, really stretch out because it's at least going 6 games. It's tied at 2, so it at least has to go 6 games. But now you have to ask yourself, with Cleveland, they did sweep Indiana, although Game 1, Game 2, really all 4 games now. Indiana came back again in the fourth quarter. They outscored the Cavs by 7.
Right.
The Cavs did have an 11-point lead going to the fourth, but Indiana did come back again.
Gave them a run.
Is that magical little switch everyone talks about with Cleveland turned on? I mean, they did sweep the Pacers, although not convincingly.
Not exactly. Not convincingly, and I'm wondering because they keep talking about exactly like how you said this turn on that I don't know. Because if that's turned on, then, the Pacers really kept up with them. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm indifferent about the Cavs this year. I really am, because I'm waiting for this switch to get turned on, and I'm ready to be really wowed by them. They're doing just enough to get the job done, which is fine too. That wins games. Clearly, we're seeing that. But I want to see that extra X factor that we know we can get from them, but I'm just not seeing it. So
I haven't really seen it completely. I mean, It seems like it's at times. Like second half, game 3, they give up, I think, 40 points in the second half, which is really, really good. Yeah. Yesterday gave up 50, which is not terrible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But that's not really dominating.
To lose by only 4, to win, by only 4 to the Pacers, that's exactly that dominating factor.
They're just not really dominating. Obviously you're sweeping them. You're getting the job done, which is important. But
yes,
it's not necessarily the same. But anyways, the Cavs go on to face either the Raptors or the Bucks, depending on who wins that 3-6 matchup. In the Western Conference, let's switch over now. We have the Rockets and the Thunder. Big game 4. Any chance of winning for Oklahoma City? They had to win yesterday, and they let it go right through their hands.
I know.
They had a 14-point lead at one point in the third quarter. Rockets come back with a huge fourth quarter score, 40 points in the quarter, win 113-109. Big contributions off the bench from Nene. The Brazilian had 28 points and 10 rebounds and shot 12 of 12 from the floor. James Harden really struggled in this game. Only 5 of 16, 0 of 7 from 3. He had 16 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. And yet again, Pauline, it's when Russell Westbrook is not on the floor that you have problems for the Thunder. Mm-hmm. Russ did his part to some extent.
Right.
I'm not going to give him credit for everything because, hey, he shot 10 of 28.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
But he had another triple-double, 35 points, 14 rebounds, 14 assists. But it's really no one else there. When Russell Westbrook was on the floor yesterday, they had a plus or minus of +3. Very, very good. Mm-hmm. When he's not on the floor, because he played 39 minutes, so he's taking 9 minutes off, they had a plus or minus of -40.
Yeah, that's incredible.
40!
I'm not laughing, but I am.
I mean...
That's incredible. In a playoff
really
game,
poor. Yes.
That's incredible.
And I think you have to give the Rockets a little bit of credit here because they did come back, especially in that fourth quarter. But the third quarter, they were down by as many as 14, kind of chipped it back a little bit. And they had, I don't know if you want to call it like a genius plan or bad coaching on the Thunder, but in that fourth quarter especially, it was Haka Andre Robertson.
Yeah.
Okay? He just, I don't know. I mean, defensive specialist, I get it. Not a great shooter. He's probably going to get a ton of money in the offseason because the NBA free agency is just absolute madness.
Right, yes.
But 2 of 12 from the free throw line in the game. Just putting up some of the worst free throws I think I've ever seen in my entire life, okay? Just, I mean, this was like Shaq-esque free throws.
Yes.
2 of 12, I feel like I could do better than that.
Yes.
Not throwing total shit at Robertson. I'm going to throw a little bit at the head coach, Billy Donovan. Why are you keeping him on the floor when the Rockets are just fouling him literally every single time down the floor, and he's just constantly putting up just god-awful free throws?
Yeah, that's... It just cracks me up because he's really trying. But, like, that's just how... Yeah.
I realize the defense is there, and especially against a guy like James Harden. His length, his size.
Yeah.
And he did a good job on Harden yesterday. Like I said, James really struggled in this game. And Nene kind of picked up the slack. And even Eric Gordon and Lou Williams off the bench each had 18 points. But why keep Robertson on the floor
when,
you're literally don't have an offense because every time down there, you're fouling him. You're not letting Russell Westbrook get in the flow of the game, touch the ball, taking the ball away from your best player, and really the only chance you have to win the game. I just simply did not understand it. I think that was obviously good part on the Rockets. When you see someone has a disadvantage like that, you of course want to exploit it. I don't have any issue with the whole Haka, whether it be Andre Jordan or Shaq or Andre Robertson in this case, Steven Adams.
Right.
I don't have any problem with it at all. I think it's honestly something I would be doing as well. Greg Popovich with the Spurs seems to always do it. And now you have the Rockets with a 3-1 advantage going back to Houston for Game 5.
Yeah, it's going to be
I see no
wild.
way the Thunder can win that game.
Yeah.
But after the game, a reporter did ask. Actually, he was talking to Steven Adams. So it was Westbrook and Steven Adams at the podium together. And the reporter's name or credential, I'm not exactly sure, so I apologize. But he basically asked Steven Adams, like, hey, when Russell Westbrook goes to the floor, you guys seem to really, really struggle. Some of that you are on the floor. Like, what's going on when he's not on the floor? And Westbrook just, like, totally interrupts Adams before he can even